Tawagan na po natin ang ating pong mahal na former Executive Secretary ng Administrasyong Duterte, Secretary Mejaldea.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you very much. At syempre, nakita niyo naman ang best friend, ha? Syempre, yung winagayway at winasiwas ni Diwata. Ay, sino?
Sino? Diwata?
Palakpakan naman natin. He is so restrained. Nakita mo yun, ang hirap nun. Gusto mong lumaban pero hindi mo magawa. Para sa kapakanan ng mas nakararaming kanyang kasama that time. Para hindi magkaroon ng gulo. Pero hindi nila ito natinag. Dahil hanggang ngayon, nakikibaka, naninindigan, at nakikilaban para sa karapatan nating lahat. Palakpakan naman natin ang ating pong pinagmamalaki. Attorney Delbra.
Bobas.
Muli, napaka-palad natin ngayong araw para makita natin sila in person. And ito ay isang special edition of Kapihan sa Philippines Day. And we take you, lahat, on a journey through one of the most extraordinary moments in recent Philippine history. The events leading to former President Rodrigo Duterte's rendition to The Hague. From Hong Kong to Villamor Air Base, to the International Criminal Court of The Hague, at The Hague, Netherlands, we will hear first-hand accounts from those who were closest to him, providing insights, context, and perspective on a story that has captured national and international attention. We need to go back to where it all began. March 10, 2025 in Hong Kong, just hours after former President Rodrigo Duterte met with a Filipino community there. Ang first question natin sana po ay isang katahimikan lang para madidinig natin lahat kasi ako din po gusto kong makinig. Is for Secretary Mejaldea. Sir? Secretary Mejaldea and Chairman Delbra, pwede na rin? Can you walk us through what happened after former President Duterte's appearance before the Filipino community? What were your observation and concern at that moment?
Yes, good morning everyone. I was there during the time. We had lunch. After lunch, we were told, I was informed that it was a scheduled audience with him, with the Filipino community, led by the group of Pastor Moroy, where he committed that they will give a short speech. Walang abnormalities. Everything was fine. We had lunch. We went to the stadium. Everyone was there. It was, kung maniniwala kayo, yung stadium punong-puno. Nagsalita siya as if normal lang, walang sinabi lang niya na ang sinabi lang niya handa akong humarap kung ano man ang mga consequences na pinagagawa ko. Other than that, wala na siyang other political statements than greet the Filipino community. As a matter of fact, pagkatapos nga ng speech niya, ay magugulat kayo, yung taong sumalubong sa kanya, paglabas ng gym, siguro mag-1 kilometro na, puno-puno pa rin ng tao at kinakawayan siya. Makita lang siya, masaya na sila. Everything was in order. Walang ine-expect na may mangyayaring malaki kinabukasan. So, next schedule namin was to have dinner, and during that dinner, we were informed na may nagkakagulo na nga daw sa Manila, may keso inaabangan na daw siya, may uhuli sa kanya pagdating niya. Yun lang o.
Sir, so wala po talagang, ang gusto ko lang pong sanang follow-up question is that meron po bang mga indikasyon that the event sususugan ko po yung pong sinabi. Seth, meron po bang mga indikasyon that the events the next day would take such a dramatic turn?
Walang mga indikasyon. Kung meron man, kung may warrant man, the normal thing to do was to post a ban, no?
Yes.
Go to the courts and then post a ban. We never expected na may ICC pala silang dala-dalang warrant na hindi naman nila maipakita nung pagdating namin sa aeroplano. Lahat, nasa cellphone lahat. Nandito sa wala. So, ganun no. Ganun ka-simple yung sitwasyon.
Kasi po yung dating sa aming mga Pilipino, no, na parang may nagkalulo or merong ng traidor. But how did you and the former president prepare for what came next?
Well, the night before when nakatanggap na nga ng informasyon na naghahanda silang aarestuhan ng presidente, hindi namin alam kung anong krimen na kanyang nagawa except yung sedition na sinasabi, which is bailable. Hindi naman namin na-expect yun sa ICC. Kasi sino ba naman mag-expect yun sa ICC? Wala namang investigasyon na nangyayari. Hindi naman siya napapagsabihan kung ano itong mga kaso itong na-file sa kanya. No? Baga sa at least may due process man lang na naibigay sa kanya bago na-implement yung warrant. Wala.
So, sir, follow up. Were there conversation among your team about security or travel plans?
Yes, we had the travel plan. Originally, he was supposed to leave at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but sabi namin, you may want to consider una i-defer yung pagbalik, no? Pero hindi namin decision yun. Sabi niya, harapin ko to kung ano man ito. Yun ang kanya. Nasa kanya ang desisyon. Sinundan namin siya kung anong gusto niyang gawin. Napagbigyan niya kami nung sinabi niyang agahan natin ang alis natin. Instead of 2 o'clock in the afternoon, let's leave at around 5 o'clock so we will have enough time pagdating sa airport at pagdating sa Pilipinas. Punta ng korte, mag-post ng ban. That's it. No? Hindi naman namin akalain na isang batalyon na pala yung sasalubong sa amin na magbibigay ng warrant of arrest na galing sa sinasabi nilang galing sa ICC na hanggang ngayon hindi pa namin nakikita kung ano yung warrant of arrest na yun.
So talagang zero ang knowledge about yung arrestong gagawin sa Maynila, ano? Any follow-up answer para po dun sa team? Because we know that pagdating po sa legal, one of the kasama po sa team is si Attorney Delgra. Attorney?
I'd like to confirm na the original plan, because we were coordinating with the ES Bingbong, was that I was not part. First of all, I was not part of the group from Hong Kong. I was in Manila at the time. And the original schedule was for Mayor Rudy to arrive in the afternoon of that day. And I was informed about that. And for me, to meet them at the airport to assist them for whatever eventualities that may come when they arrive. And yun na nga, may mga ugong-ugong that he might be arrested. I did, ES Bingbong mentioned about a possible sedition charge, which, if I may recall, dates back to the time of the proclamation rally in the Club Filipino, which he said something about, which some official took it adversely that a sedition charge may be filed. But nevertheless, I was not there, and nagulat na lang ako. That's the reason why I was in Barong, because in the morning I had a hearing sa Muntinlupa. I did not expect that the plane would arrive in the morning. So anyway, we were able to arrive at the airport, pero hindi pa rin kami pinapapasok. Doon mismo sa aeroplano or makausap pan lang ang dating Pangulo. When I arrived at the airport, sa dulo nung hallway na yan, na naghihintay silang makita rin ang dating Pangulo, si Senator Bongo, si Vic Rodriguez, si Secretary Bebot Bello, Bobet Torion was also there, and 3 of the former president's medical doctors. Para lang ma-examine siya kung sa kalusugan niya at that time. Just to give you a little context, based on what I got from his aide, pag mga long travels kasi, napapagod yung dating Pangulo, matanda na, 80 years old. But nevertheless, he went to Hong Kong, came back, but madaling mapagod pag mahaba yung biyahe, according to his aide. And that's the reason why the doctors were there also. Anyway, I asked when I arrived kung bakit wala at hindi sila pinapapasok. They also do not know. They were not informed the reason why they were not know. I talked to one of the police officers. I insisted that I'm one of the counsels of Mayor Rudy, former president, and then I said that I'd like to talk to my client. My request was denied. And we don't know exactly what happened or what was going on in the tube or in the plane because we were out there. We were not allowed to go in. So until finally there were some rocos outside the terminal building, and then there were some movements outside, and then we realized that he was being brought to Villamor Air Base. And that was the time when I was able to join the former president inside Villamor Air Base.
Let me add, during the time nasa tube, humingi kami ng copy ng warrant, complaints, wala silang maibigay. Parang po niya, ang presidente ng mismo nagsabi, ayoko nakaka-istorbo ko sa mga taong kasama ko sa aeroplano. Sumama na lang tayo at doon natin pag-usapan kung saan yung mga bagay na to. Wala yung pinipersa, hindi siya na gano'n. Kine-question lang niya yung mga karapatan niya, yung mga akusado. Asan yung basic lang ang tanong niya, asan ang warrant of arrest? Hindi nila makipakita. Pero siya na rin sabi na, sige, ayoko maka-istorbo dito sa publiko. May flight pa na alis, sasakyan ng aeroplano na to, alis na tayo. Umalis kami. Punta na ng Villamor.
Sir, naging mabilis yung pangyayari. Ay, Attorney Yvette, please.
Oo. Yes, so doon pa lang mismo sa plane, tanong ko po ay, what were the very first words of those who went to the plane? What were the very first words spoken to our president?
Hindi ko na masyado ma-recall because of the commotion. Parang may sinasabi sila, we are placing you under arrest because of the warrant.
Oh,
Yun ang nakikita ko, pero hindi ako nakaharap. Nasa likod ako, isang dami ng tao. Sabi ko, ang nagtanong yung wife ko, si Mrs. Meldaldea, who's also a lawyer. Asan yung warrant? Walang maipakita sa kanya. Kasi hindi naman asan yung warrant? Nandito sa telepono. Uhulihin ka na lang, nasa telepono at may panguhuli sa'yo. Anong klaseng ano yun? And to think of that, kasama mo ang Undersecretary of Justice, ang Chief State Prosecutor, na who should have, at the very least, protected also the rights of an accused, who incidentally was the former President of the Republic of the Philippines. Konting respeto lang, di mo ba?
kaya nga po, itong special edition natin ng Kapihan, we want to walk through, itong audience natin, yung legal implications, yung context ng usaping legalidad, kasi po, Pilipino ang involved dito at ang kanyang karapatan sa ilalim ng ating saligang batas. Yung nasabi ni Secretary Meldaldea, under Philippine conditions, at alam niyo po yan, ating mga kababayan, paulit-ulit po pinapaalala sa inyo na kung kayo ay aarestuhin, hanapin ninyo yung warrant of arrest. Bit-bit dapat yung papel na yan. Yun ang hinihinging simpleng bagay nila ni ni Attorney Medjaldea, yung Mrs. ni ES, nasaan yung warrant, pati ho si dating presidente, bilang isang abogado at dating prosecutor. Subalit, yung simpleng request na yun, hindi nga na-produce nitong mga nag-aresto sa kanya. At bilang mga abogado, kaming tatlo po, ito po ay hindi katanggap-tanggap. Dahil yun ang hinihingi ng isang akusado. Kapeni.
Pwede maganda.
Yeah, sure.
Patungkol doon sa respeto at karapatan ng isang tao which is already placed under the custody of the law. I mentioned about the 3 doctors. Nung nakapasok po ako sa Villamor Air Base, andun na po yung grupo nila ni Mayor Rudy, kasama yung mga kasamahan niya galing sa Hong Kong, at nauna pa yung 3 doktor. And when I got into the room, the doctor was already physically examining the former president. And after a few minutes, the doctor approached me and she said, Attorney, kailangan siya dalhin sa hospital, may medical emergency. So I approached General Torre. Sabi ko, may medical emergency, he's already under your custody, if we can bring him to the hospital. Kasi ang mismong doktor niya nagsabi na, ayaw ni General Torre. Saying namin, may doktor kami rito sa Villamor. So basically, that's what happened insofar as yung condition ng pasyente is concerned. So if you would notice, if you would recall, there were reports of a medical certificate na yung sugar level niya tumaas, and in the afternoon he has to be administered a medical oxygen kasi humihina na nga yung kalagayan ng dating Pangulo. All throughout the day when all these things were unfolding in our midst, and especially so na siya yung pinupuntarya ng mga pulis at that time.
Thank you.
Attorney Delga, salamat po.
In addition to that, they were insisting na basahan na kagad sila ng kanyang rights. No? Constitutional rights. Ang sabi, I will read to you your rights. Well, I asked them simply, anong rights? Rights sa Pilipinas o rights sa ICC? Ang sagot sa akin, that's beyond my pay grade. Sabi ko, nandyan ang Undersecretary of Justice, nandyan ang Chief State Prosecutor, bakit hindi mo tanungin? Yun ang ating mga